Travis Kelce. Finished as tight end number 1 last year, 105 receptions, 145 targets, 1,416 yards, and 11 touchdowns through the air, just shy of a 24% target share. Guys, your thoughts on Travis Kelce?
If I were to ever pivot from drafting a running back in the first round, that is who it would be for. Outside of that, it really doesn't even matter to me the format. Like I really struggle to even take quarterbacks in the first round of Superflex drafts. But if I'm going to pivot from running back, it will be from that man, because there is such a gap between where Travis Kelce ends and the next guy even holds his jock strap in fantasy football that it's not even funny. So, take him in the back half of the first round. Congratulations. More power to you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you'd like the value, wait till the back end of the second round. Maybe you feel like value-wise, based off your draft position, Darren Waller does something for you there. But Kelce's such a beast. Holy crap, guys. He's just doing things at that position that we didn't even fathom when Gronk was having his run with the Pats. He is taking the best from Tony Gonzalez and Gronk and all these amazing tight ends. Shannon Sharp, thank you. And what all these tight ends did before him to kind of pave the way. And he's just taking it and saying, okay, now hold my beer and I'm going to show you kids how it's done. It's just phenomenal.
Do yourself a favor and look up Travis Kelce's pizza commercial that he did last year. I think it was last year. Might have been the year before. It is worth every second of your attention, because even what you're saying there, Kevin, the guy is such a character that even a pizza commercial for a local pizza chain in Kansas City, he made kind of fun. His positional value versus everybody else in that tight end group is worth alone. You're going to have the tight end 1 and a clear cut tight end 1 versus, we're trying to throw darts at some of these guys to figure out where they're going to finish in terms of a running back or a quarterback or a wide receiver. But when it comes to tight ends, you don't have to throw the dart, because the target for tight end 1 for Travis Kelce is 10 feet wide, and then everybody else is minuscule on the side. So he is a game-changing player, and from the tight end position, it's unfair really that he's looped into tight end, because he's better than a lot of wide receivers that are out there. And I mean, shoot, he had 11 touchdowns last year. And that's more than we were talking about with Stephon Diggs, who had 8, so it's just a wide margin between him and everybody else in that position group. And yeah, it would take a different draft strategy to get him on your roster. But if you do, you wouldn't regret it.
He is one of my favorite players. I have his jersey right over there, but I'm probably not drafting him for the same reason that you guys have discussed. I'm realizing on the show tonight that I think a lot of the same ways that Kevin does. Me and his draft strategy is a lot alike. I go running back heavy, wait on wide receiver and tight end. So I wouldn't draft him. But watching him box guys out like they're on the basketball court for a freaking rebound and him just grab the ball and jump up and get it is just awesome.
Travis Kelce put up more points per game last year for fantasy than Stephon Diggs. So if you were to look at this, you've got to kind of shape the lens a little bit different there. Travis Kelce scores up there in the elite level of what wide receivers do, which somebody already made that point. But when you look at it, the next closest tight end last year was Darren Waller, and Darren Waller would have scored you right around, fringe wide receiver 1 type of territory. So there's a huge difference there. Just like when you're talking wide receivers, the difference there. Same thing's going to hold true on the tight ends. And when you're talking on a tight end position, once you get outside of really those top 2, maybe 3 guys, there's a huge drop off there to the point where it comes down to, like we've said, for most of these teams, they become the touchdown dependent on these tight ends, where you're hoping that the tight end you draft falls into the end zone. So it's one of those that if you're not drafting Travis Kelce or Darren Waddle or potentially George Kittle, something like that, one of those top guys when in the tight end rooms, you need to wait on the position. But Travis Kelce is an absolute difference maker in the tight end space.